Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. In the quiet village of Willowmere, the soft hum of prepayment meters filled the homes like an unwelcome lullaby. Here, where autumn leaves fell in fiery colors and frost crept across windows at dawn, lived Eliza Moore, a retired schoolteacher clinging tightly to each pound for her weekly shopping. Her energy meter, ancient and unyielding, demanded payment before indulgence, heat, light, even the whisper of her kettle. It was on a brisk Sunday evening, the kind when shadows gather too soon, that Martin Lewis appeared on Eliza's small TV screen, his earnest face framed by ITV's warm studio lights. She watched, sleeves rolled up from mending a favorite jumper, as he delivered news that felt like a whispered lifeline. Prepayment customers, those with key or card meters, listen carefully, he began, voice steady and gentle. From April 1, you'll pay about 3% less than direct debit users. These meters will become the cheapest way to pay ever recorded. But, and it's a big but, you'll only get these savings when you top up. Eliza's heart fluttered like a candle in autumn wind. 3%. Modest, but to her, weeks of bread and butter. She leaned forward, absorbing Martin's instruction. Wait until April 1 before topping up. Just a few pennies might be saved, but pennies matter. Her neighbor, Mrs. Davis, a widow on a fixed income, overheard the broadcast and rushed over. They clasped hands across Eliza's teacup-laden kitchen table. The world outside was already icy, yet inside a glimmer of warmth returned. Together they plotted, resist the urge to top up until that fateful day. As March drifted to April, the cold nights lingered. The prepayment meter's red warning light blinked ominously. Days stretched with glacial reluctance, but both women held firm. Friends called to offer just a little top-up, a kindness they gently declined. A crisis of will and thrift. And then, April 1 dawned like a promise fulfilled. At precisely 8 a.m., with hands trembling as if cupping a dropped coin, Eliza fed her key into the meter. The numbers slipped in, £10. A quiet beep, then the familiar hum of electricity responded. The rate had changed mid-flow. The new price cap was active. She exhaled, with that small triumph of having waited, of having held back. Across town, Mrs. Davis did the same. Both women experienced the tiniest thrill when their meters glowed on, electric, warm, agreeable. A gift from delay and information given by Martin Lewis through flickering television airwaves. Word spread. The village postman, Mr. Hargreaves, delivered top-up cards in the afternoon and paused at each doorstep, giving nods of approval. Even the corner shopkeeper offered a knowing well done. It was community buoyed by shared savviness. Yet in the weeks that followed, Martin Lewis returned with another caution delivered with characteristic earnestness during a Good Morning Britain segment on ITV. He reminded those with prepayment meters to run down their credit in June. Don't top up in June, he advised, because the rates are the old higher ones. Use up your credit, then top up on July 1 to benefit from the lower cap. Eliza and Mrs. Davis paused again. June arrived, muggy and pale across the countryside. They rationed their bulbs and kettles, consciously turning off lights at dusk, sharing meals by candlelight, stretching the stored energy bit by bit. It was a small inconvenience, but it kept their electricity from being charged at higher rates. On July 1, they topped up again. This time, the new cap arrived as promised. Another cheerless beep and another savings secured. July's light felt different, earned, purposeful. From that moment on, Willowmere's evenings were threaded not just with lamplight, but with a subtle sense of empowerment. Words like cap, prepayment, and save whispered through tea gatherings and wreath-making workshops. Martin Lewis's advice had become folklore. a beacon in times of tightening budgets. Eliza, in her warm, carefully lit room, sat with her repaired jumper draped across her lap. She looked outside at the glow across the windows, believing in the power of waiting, of smart tips, and communal resilience. She whispered, as if to the old meter itself, "Thank you, Martin Lewis, and thank you, delay." Outside, the wind sang through the hedgerows, but inside, Willowmere glowed with hope.